The fact that Kris Tyson is a trans woman does not have anything to do with her being a fucking freak, right? Like, she's a freak because she's saying really disgusting things online and grooming fucking minors, right? She's a freak because she's a fucking pedophile. Allegedly. But she's not a freak for being a trans woman. So let's just be clear about that, alright? Because anyone could be a predator. You gotta be on the right side of history. Yo, what up? It's me, your girl here, ready to comment on this MrBeast, Kris Tyson situation. It seems like there's news coming out back to back. I've seen a lot of my favorite YouTubers comment on it. Jamari, Moist Critical, and Cinnamon Toast Ken. And according to my analytics, a good chunk of my viewers also love them some Cinnamon Toast Ken. He's got the Kenergy. So I feel, and also, you know, he usually is pretty like good about like including a lot of technical information as opposed to like all the gossip. So I thought, why not do a REACEPTION where I react to the lovely Cinnamon Toast Ken on the Kris Tyson situation and then give some of my own thoughts. Because, like, these predators are coming out so fast, like, I can't keep up with them.
Dane, I'm tired. I'm tired of making videos about YouTubers talking to minors. I'm sick of it. Shouldn't have to be. The
Real.
age of consent is 18. If
Shit.
anything's under 18, you're an adult.
Real. He's so real for that.
Just don't talk to it. Just
Don't talk
your
to
family, you got a cousin or something. All right, but if you're like you're a YouTuber and you're talking to fans, just don't. How hard is it?
Right.
How hard is it?
That's so real. And I just said this in my Dr. Disrespect video. Like, listen, I don't mind if I got viewers on my channel who are under the age of 18, but please don't expect me to be your friend or to encourage you to talk to strangers. Like, this is insane. Like, honestly, really, how the fuck hard is it to not talk to kids? It's really not that fucking hard. In fact, it would seem to me that I talk to zero kids on a daily basis, and it would seem to me that someone would have to be actively seeking them out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Just to not do it.
Don't
so
do
today, the ukulele comes out once again.
Don't do it.
And we are talking about Kris Tyson, who is one of the people that are very close to MrBeast. They've been friends with him for years. And we're also going to talk about a clip that's been surfacing of MrBeast on a podcast from a long time ago, making inappropriate jokes about minors as well.
Woo!
So,
Ooh! Ooh! I did not realize that we were getting a double whammy, Ooh! See, it's so funny because right before all this shit went down, I didn't realize I'm holding the microphone this close to my mouth. Sorry, guys. I feel like it was literally just a week before the allegations dropped, and like Dr. Disrespect had already been outed, and then Cody Co had been outed. I was like, I was talking to my roommate. I was like, I bet you MrBeast is next. No way. And then Kris Tyson got outed, which is not MrBeast, but like obviously a very close associate. But it looks like we might have some beastie tea too. I've been watching so many videos by so many different content creators about this situation that I don't even remember what's being said about what.
So, you guys don't need me to introduce MrBeast.
Dane. I love Dane. Alright, for all you Dane haters out there, like my little brother, I'm calling you out, Malachi. He doesn't watch my videos, but I was trying to watch Cinnamon Toast Ken with him, and he was like, why is Dane there? Like, he's not even doing anything. He doesn't add anything. Are you kidding me? He offers the perfect punctuations to everything Ken says. Don't be a hater.
YouTuber on YouTube.
We stand Buff Pro.
Right now.
Until he gets me too'd. And Cinnamon Toast Ken. Oh God, could you imagine Kris getting me too'd? It hasn't happened yet. We can still have hope.
Massive following of the videos, getting more views than like it's ridiculous what he's done. The stuff's
Yeah.
coming out so fast at this point. I don't know what the story's going to be in like over the 2 days it's going to take this video to come up. But I'll add parts if I need to, and like little sound bites or whatever. But the first thing I want to look at is
right. Here's another thing, guys. I love Leon Lush. Like, it's so weird. All right, for all you YouTubers who watch YouTube and also make your own like content, is it not such a weird, like, I know all, like, it's such a weird celebrity community. Like, I love Leon Lush. I remember when Leon Lush was nowhere near as big as he was now. I was subscribed to him a couple years ago. Jamari, my OG inspiration to get on the YouTube. I remember when he was like 50K subscribers, and now he's over 1 million. Like, it's so crazy. And now it's so crazy how weirdly though, like, incestuous the YouTuber community is. Like, all of them have drama with each other, and I for one cannot wait to have drama with somebody. I would love to see what they would try to come at me for. Haters make you famous. Start some shit in my comments.
That Leon Lush put up addressing the podcast that he was on, where MrBeast said these things, and he talks more about it. So let's watch some of that.
For context, this was a long time ago at the beginning of our YouTube journey. Here's the first part of the clip.
And he did say that he enjoys the Cash Me Outside girl.
I want to know what year that was. Oh shit, I forgot that I don't have my keyboard plugged in because I only have so many outlets on my stupid Mac. We'll find out later.
I think she's funny, so let's just...
But I will say there was definitely a horribly different standard for what comedy was just 5-10 years ago. And like, there definitely was a culture of people saying edgy shit, though not truly holding those views internally. They would still say it. The problem was, though, number one, those things just genuinely aren't funny. The other problem is, though, you can't tell who's just kidding and who is not, right? So while there definitely was a different standard for humor back then, like, it's not necessarily at all an excuse.
Shows what.
Let's do it. You want to put your dick in it?
So that's like
No, not the bad, not Cash Me Outside.
So that just shows what.
Let's do it. You
Hold on.
want it?
And he did say that he enjoys the Cash Me Outside girl. I think she's funny, so let's just...
So that just shows what.
I mean, I enjoy the Cash Me Outside girl. I think she's funny.
Let's do it. You want to put your dick in it?
But sticking my dick or engaging with her sexually, although I'm the last thing from straight, would be the furthest thing from my mind. The last thing on my mind would be considering engaging in a sexual act with the Cash Me Outside girl. In fact, shit like this, fucking predators taking advantage of young girls just like the Cash Me Outside girl, is exactly what creates them. Like, she was the poster child. I know that she was on the Dr. Phil show, but like, she was the poster child for the fucking out of control teen on the Maury show, right? But were these teens really out of control, or were they being actively victimized, exploited, and groomed by the adults around them who were sexualizing them way before they needed to be sexualized? I will probably do a whole nother video about like the horrible culture of like sensationalizing teen trauma on the Maury show and shit like that, but this is a conversation for another day.
So that's like the part of the clip that's coming out, and I think Catching Me Outside Girl was like 14 years old at the time. The part of the clip that's coming out. So that just shows what.
Let's do it. You want to put your dick in it?
And I think Catching Me Outside Girl was like 14 years old at the time.
Yes.
They said this.
Catch me outside, how about that?
She's so
I didn't know what
cute.
to say. Wow. Also relevant was our general demeanor at the time, as he also said this at another point in the podcast.
Wait, let's say something offensive that people can take out of context.
Here we are, almost a decade later.
So it's been
See, that goes to the point that I was saying earlier. Although it was truly a culture, like, self-admittedly, back in like high school, 2009, 2010, it was like horrible. However, like, if you're still making those jokes in 2024, if you're still making these jokes today, that's the question. So I'm curious to look more further into what's going on with MrBeast, but 10 minutes into this video, only 2 minutes into the Cinnamon Toast Ken video, this is about Ava, not everything else.
played, as like Leon says here, they were playing off like it's, this was years ago, content was edgy.
Which is making me curious. And then that's another thing. I'm curious about Leon Lush here, because I'd like to watch his full video too, because I'm not really sure, like, where he's going with that video. Like, is he going with that video to just like be transparent, or is he going out with that video to get ahead of some narrative? You know what I'm saying? Interesting stuff.
All that stuff. But it's like, and MrBeast says here, he's like, he makes the joke and then says, yeah, I wouldn't either. She's too young, right?
Oh, well, okay.
Putting your dick in someone is a
In the background, you hear him go, "Yeah, way too young."
putting your dick in someone is a
Way too young. Way too young.
Cringe and edgy
And he sounded pretty convicted when he said that.
jokes were in back then. Like, people were putting boobs in thumbnails and everything like that back then 10 years ago on YouTube. It was the more you did, like, crazy stuff, like, look at me, look how, like, look how much I'm riding the line.
Right. This was the era of 4chan, guys. Like, this was when 4chan was at its, like, peak, like, influence.
You skip forward 10 years and that line of, like, where the edgy line is has moved.
Right, but, like, exactly. If you're still doing that shit today.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're still doing that shit, like, post 12, like, you done, dog. If you still think that shit is funny post 2012, you done. It's a no for me, dog.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
You busted.
You're busted?
You busted.
Hello, how you doing? You're busted? Yeah.
Did the jokes age poorly? Absolutely, but, like, were they even like
Jokes?
appropriate jokes ever?
Right,
The answer
exactly.
obviously is no.
This is why I love Cinnamon Toast Ken. He's such a stand-up guy.
It's just like a terrible, awful joke, like, you know.
Right.
As long as there's no penetration.
Right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Is that Ava? Yeah, okay. Let me not get distracted here. But, like, let's get real. Would you put your dick in her is not a punchline.
Did the jokes age poorly? Absolutely, but, like, were they even like appropriate jokes ever?
No.
And the answer obviously is no. That's just like a terrible, awful joke, like, you know.
I mean, as long as there's no penetration, I mean, what's age anyways, right?
Now you can hear me say, nah, I'm just fucking with you, as I trail off. Were these jokes funny? I think that would be
Oh,
a
did
stretch,
Leon
right?
say that?
As I trail.
Age anyways, right?
Now you can hear me say, nah, I'm just fucking with you, as I trail off.
Damn. All right, so now here's an example of someone who might have made those jokes back then, but is not making those jokes now. I never would have been a fan of Leon Lushett if I ever heard him say anything remotely ridiculous like that, even on an edgy level. So it's very interesting, that juxtaposition.
Were these jokes funny? I think that would be a stretch, right? In my opinion, when you mix a propensity for
Brainworms!
dark humor with a blind ambition for attention, you get shit like this sometimes.
Right.
So Leon goes on. He's there's the times, you know, but they're making these like just terrible jokes, honestly. But, like, is it enough to get, like, cancel everyone? No, but
I think that those jokes are enough to get canceled. In 2024, those jokes are more than enough to get canceled. Back then, those jokes were actively encouraged.
it's definitely just
Come on, Ken.
For sure.
Brother,
Ooh, brother.
what's that, brother?
Now, I do remember back then, like, during this edgy time, that, like, unfortunately, pedophile jokes weren't that uncommon.
Right. They were
So,
everywhere. They were everywhere. Pedo Bear, bro. Pedo Bear. Like, Chris Hansen was trending.
I do understand, like, at the time, you know, it wasn't that bad, but it's...
Yeah.
Now we know, because of predator awareness that has been spread by Chris Hansen and the like, that these things are ooh, brother.
But the very interesting thing about this whole thing is that, like, the clips are about, everyone's like, MrBeast, and, like, no one's mentioning anyone else who was there. Like, I mean, obviously Leon came up and he made a video about it, but it's like, bad jokes or terrible things were said, but it all falls under, like, the one person. Now, I'm not saying we need to go, like, get the pitchfork out and go after all these guys or nothing like that. I'm just saying it's an interesting...
Maybe we should, Ken. At least do a deep dive into their characters.
look at kind of the weight of popularity on content creation to where
Right.
everything falls into, like, whoever the biggest channel is like the one who catches all the flack, right?
Right, like, how can MrBeast be a part of that?
And I like Leon Lush a lot. Like,
Statistically, I make this joke all the time, but it's not really a joke. Like, the difference between your average convicted sex predator and your average Joe on the street is like chance. It's pure dumb luck.
Because we're all pretty much, the difference between a convicted sex offender and one of you guys is like pure luck.
And like, yeah, like, not all men, sure, but statistically.
Here's the thing for me, I don't think that all men are bad. You know, this
those odds are not in your favor. So that's why even though I stand Chris Hansen so hard, like, is it possible? Unfortunately, statistically, it is.
I really enjoy his content. So, like, watching this clip, and I'm like, I want to throw Leon under the bus.
I know, no, but see, like, I'm struggling with that as well. Like, I really want to throw Leon under the bus, but I also, like, I didn't know his content then. You know? Leon, though, does seem like he's matured immensely compared to the other crowd, so,
Bad. Those jokes are boo.
They're so bad. Like, they make me want to vomit.
Boo.
Right.
Boo.
Absolutely.
Now or even then. Boo. Boo.
Like you said, we can't bring the pitchforks out. It's just
Why not?
attention-seeking and very...
Just a little threatening pitchfork action. There's no, like, actual blood gonna be drawn. Let us just gather. Let us gather menacingly.
unfunny jokes that didn't age very well.
They did not age.
Especially not now, and Jesus Christ, you turn a corner and all of a sudden another YouTuber's got DMs.
Right. So, like, I think Sam Hyde was also, like, outed within this time. A bunch of people are going da-da-da-da-da, like, back and forth. It's crazy. I am getting freaking whiplash. And it was Colleen Ballinger who started it all.
All aboard the toxic gossip train, chugging down the tracks of misinformation.
Imagine that. That's feminism for you. See, women can be anything. Women can be predators too.
In 2024, women can be anything. We can even be sex predators. Guys, we're breaking that glass ceiling.
And while I say that, while I'm on the topic of gender, anyone who uses the Ava Chris Tyson allegations as an excuse to be transphobic is stupid. Okay? A majority of sex predators are straight men, all right? That being said, there are an insane amount of female predators. So by that token, you can assume that there are a crazy amount of human predators, right? So the fact that Ava Chris Tyson is a trans woman does not have anything to do with her being a fucking freak, right? Like, she's a freak because she's saying really disgusting things online and grooming fucking minors, right? She's a freak because she's a fucking pedophile, allegedly. But she's not a freak for being a trans woman. So let's just be clear about that, all right? Because anyone could be a predator, especially in 2024.
You 12-year-old fans.
Yeah.
Right, 12-year-olds.
To Ava Chris Tyson, not quite a 12-year-old, but a 14-year-old is who they were messaging, and they made an apology. We're going to go through the apology.
The apology was shitty.
The interesting thing about the apology is on Ava Chris Tyson's Twitter page, they nuked the entire thing because a lot of stuff that people were bringing up were old tweets.
Sounds like a job for the Wayback Machine.
And now, in relation to the MrBeast and the podcast thing that we just watched, is that a lot of these have been kind of played off as like old, edgy humor from back in the day.
Right.
The difference being that on the podcast, they were making these very inappropriate jokes. And then in Ava Chris Tyson's situation, there were actually messages to a minor.
Right. See, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, the problem is you can't tell who is being genuine and who's not being genuine based on the joke alone, so unfortunately. I'm so happy that culture has died. But if you're making those jokes and there's receipts, buddy, it's better to just not make those jokes at all. Regardless of if you're doing it, like it's the audacity, it's just like that they operate with zero impunity for so long. The culture has been that they could do this shit and nobody would bat an eye. I'm so happy it's changing.
Yeah.
Now, I will give MrBeast some credit here. Whenever Ava Chris Tyson first transitioned, Jimmy stood up for his friend. It was like, all this transphobia and stuff, I'm not putting up with it, stop.
There's no excuse to be hateful, right? Like, see, I'm sure you all have heard the term perfect victim. Like, there's no such thing as a perfect victim. Like, in the case of all victims, surely they could have done something in their daily operation differently to avoid being victimized, right? But on the same turn, there's no such thing as like a perfect predator either, right? So on that same coin, while it's so easy to dismiss these allegations against Ava Kris Tyson as transphobia because they were so like actively bullied for coming out, which is horrible, hateful behavior, it kind of gives what's the word, a sense of reasonable doubt to the allegations, where a lot of people were, number one, using it as an excuse to go further with their transphobia, hate speech, and also there was a group of people, there was discourse happening online of people dismissing the claims entirely simply as transphobia. Now, as we're about to see, and as I just said, basically the point is the only gender binary that matters is predator and not predator. So, like, you can't use the fact that the victim is a crazy bitch to be your deciding factor. You can't use the fact that someone who was being outed had been actively bullied for really, like, unjust causes. You can't use either of those things to dismiss allegations against a predator or a victim. I feel like this has been sort of long-winded, but the point remains.
And the reason that I give him props for that is because I know he was sweating. I know he was sweating the effects of Ava Kris Tyson's decisions would have on his channel. Like, say me and you, like, say Dane, if you decide to transition, I'd be like, Dane, man, I support you, man, whatever decision you want to make, but I would be sweating the response from people watching.
No, that's valid. That's valid because, like, your viewers are not always going to agree with you, right? Like, you take a risk. It takes a lot of courage to come forward and stand up for the right thing. And it's just so sad to me, all the hate in the world that are based on such absurd, made up bullshit, na boo-boo reasons, you know? Ugh.
I got 100% no behind the scenes. He was like, oh man, because you can't throw your friend that's transitioning under the bus, because then, like, you got one camp that's just going to jump you, and then
but you are going to take a hit, but you want to be on the but you gotta be on the right side. You gotta be on the, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Ken, but you gotta be on the right side of history.
Like cheering in the background, because then the other side's going to jump on you, so you kind of just gotta sit there and be okay with it, right?
Yeah.
But then we get to the actual allegations, right? So
thank God. 25 minutes into my commentary, we're finally getting into. But I had a lot of things to say about the situation.
Even came out except that there were messages. That's all I know.
So all this information,
I'm pretty sure more stuff has come out since then, but I'll update it.
It's just been stuff that's been under everyone's nose the entire time on Ava Kris Tyson's Twitter. Now, the Twitter account has been nuked. There, aside from the apologies that we're going to go through, there's nothing else here, because that's where a lot of people were going and getting these interactions through some questionable people. One being Shadbase, the other being Lava GS, who was the 14-year-old at the time. Now, Shadbase, if you don't know who Shadbase is, you haven't watched anybody else's videos about it, drew art of child pornography.
Lolly is the bane of our existence. It's totally used as an excuse. Like, I'm sorry, guys. If you watch my videos and you like lolly porn, I'm so sorry. Please unsubscribe.
Being Keemstar's 8-year-old daughter, and a lot of other
You see
stuff.
how, like, weirdly, like, involved all these YouTubers are? Especially the old school ones.
And now, Ava commissioned this artist and had interactions with them, and there's even like a clip of like one of their old episodes, MrBeast, where they got like the art on the wall. And yeah, so you got this person drawing pedophile porn that they're interacting with and commissioning, and then you have also the inappropriate conversations with 14-year-old, which other videos have gone deep into that. Like, that person's been involved, like, with some of the MrBeast videos. The person themselves says that these videos are massive lies and twisting the truth. Ava never did anything wrong and just made a few edgy jokes. I was never exploited or taken advantage of. To where
this is like JoJo Siwa saying that Colleen Ballinger never took advantage of her. Girl, it's really not for you to say. I'm so sorry. You were a child. And not for nothing, JoJo Siwa is insane, and I don't, like, stan her at all. I mean, I like the jokes. Like, I saw a meme that was, like, in a Borat voice, a JoJo Siwa. But, like, let's get real. Like, if you are the alleged victim, like, you say, like, and you were a child at the time, you are not, like, the one who is eligible to say whether or not you were victimized, just by virtue of you being a minor and what was said to you. Yeah.
Where you go, you think, you from the outside, you go, okay, well, you were 14 at the time, and you were, like, a fan, and of course, when you're in it...
And also, they were, like, financially exploiting these kids. They're, like, exploiting their labor. Like, even without, like, the weird sexual shit, like, Colleen Ballinger and Ava Kris Tyson and, like, all these other ones, they were, like, having minors run their entire Discords, unpaid, run their social media, unpaid. That shit is exhausting. Like, and these are kids. It's just very sad.
You don't ever see anything wrong, but everyone from the outside goes, no, that's not good. So, some of the messages were, like, calling him daddy.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
And, like, making jokes about sending nudes. Which is just, like, it's a 14-year-old kid. You just don't. Like, no matter how edgy the times were, that's just, no. It's bad. I don't think you need me to tell you that it's bad. It's obviously not good. I feel like my brain,
I spaced out.
Edgy the times were,
right.
That's just, no. It's bad. I don't think you need me to tell you that it's bad.
And that's gonna be the big thing that keeps coming up as this story continues. Like, the edgy jokes of the time and the cancel culture of today. Those are the big things here.
Obviously not good. I feel like my brain is just all over the place with this one because I'm just so tired, Dane.
Right.
I'm so tired.
So tired.
Why are we having to do this? This makes, like, no sense.
Let's get real. I didn't want to make this video. I didn't want to make the Dr. Disrespect video either, but this shit is important and we gotta fucking talk about it. I'm so tired. I don't want to have to edit this. This is not my fun TCAP videos. Like, this is, like, real shit. Like, I mean, everything that I talk about is real shit, but, like, I'm so tired.
Just do it. Become an adult and date adults.
And chill with adults.
I just don't understand.
All right, let's go into, like, the apology, right? Let's read it. So, they made the statement that said, I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone.
You know an apology is bad when they say, I apologize if this hurt or offended anyone. That in itself shows that it's not genuine, that it's an insincere apology. Because clearly, if you're having to apologize to begin with, it hurt and offended somebody. So you should say, I would like to apologize for my past behavior that has hurt and offended everyone. Like, this is enraging. When an apology goes, I'm sorry if I hurt anyone, that's not an apology because you clearly did. So, like, get real. That's not accountability.
It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things MrBeast and social media to focus on my family.
You got fired. You got fired.
This out like the biggest non-apology
that
anyone's ever seen.
Thank you, Ken.
It doesn't talk about anything that happened. It's just like,
I
apologize for my past behavior and comments
so vague.
if it hurt or offended anyone.
Thank you.
Or you're sorry that people they got offended over what you said?
Or you're sorry for what you did.
It sat there for like 2
Thank you, Ken.
hours, and then they finally followed it up, which is, it kind of hit me in a funny way that it took 2 hours to then be like, maybe that wasn't good enough. Let me add some more to that. I want to add, I never groomed anyone. The person who brought up these accusations, Lava GS, has vocally supported that they are false.
Again, it's not up to the child to say whether or not they're being groomed. The whole reason that statutory rape is a thing is because a child, by definition, doesn't have the brain development to know whether the fuck or not something that's happening to them is fucking wrong.
Which we already covered, you know, and you're in it, and they like, hey, no, I was 14, they didn't do anything weird to me. Okay. Having said that, I humbly apologize to anyone I have hurt with my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and to those who may feel betrayed by how I used to act online.
From what I understand, it's not just how they used to act. From what I understand, this is how she's, like, currently acts.
You know, I don't think that anymore, right? It's this, they've grown up.
Right.
It's like when it comes to something like this, when you're interacting with underage people and you have connections to an artist who's writing or just creating child porn art, it's real tough to say, that was the old me, you know?
Right.
It's like,
right.
Oh, man.
The commission art that they got done, was that also?
So let's look at a channel called More Pegasus, who has kind of gone through some of this stuff, and let him kind of give us a rundown real quick.
Chadman, who is a degenerate freak who draws real children in prawn scenarios, like Keemstar's 8-year-old daughter. So
that's so disgusting that he drew like a representation of an actual child.
Chris would purchase illegal art from Chadman of these lollipop-type pictures.
And that people financially supported that shit.
And frame it on their living room wall. Number 2, Chris had a million degenerate tweets begging for this illegal art of popular characters like Beast Boy, Caillou, and Mabel and Dipper from Gravity Falls. Number 3, Chris was allegedly exposed for exchanging inappropriate messages with 2 separate 14-year-olds when Chris was 20. That is obviously...
Well, there's another one? I didn't know there's a second one.
Oh my
there's
God.
There's 2! God, I had no idea that. I knew about the one.
Oh my God.
You know, freaking Caillou, come on.
I know! Caillou, of all of them. Especially because we all agree that he's like the worst cartoon character ever, right? Nah, just low-key, I used to love Caillou. Caillou's a good show. Caillou's just a little boy. He's fucking 4 years old!
Hey, come on. There you go. So back to the...
And allegedly has cancer, so y'all are triple canceled.
Wait, to lump these two factors together to create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad, edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen.
Alright, but then that goes to show, like, it's one thing to make edgy jokes and to not have child porn on your walls, and it's another thing to make those edgy jokes while having child porn on your walls, right?
Okay, in the past years, I've learned that my old humor is not acceptable. I cannot change who I was, but I can continue to work on myself. So this one kind of says, is like, you trying to put these two things together of me supporting someone who's making child porn art and me speaking to a child. How do you make that leap and what? Come on, come on. It's pretty easy to make
Real.
that connection.
Exactly.
The initial apology just sounded very
bad.
I don't care.
Vague.
You know. Yeah, but you know what? This is a cancellation because you're having to step away from all things MrBeast.
Right.
So obviously, I think there's
That's
something is.
And to be that truly, this is the true cancellation because MrBeast is literally like the biggest thing ever. So if MrBeast is publicly canceled, you are officially canceled until he gets canceled officially.
There's
Cancelception.
wrong somewhere.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well, like none of it's saying none of it's saying that none of it's true. None of it's saying it.
That's also a very good point. There's no outright denial, right? That's so interesting.
And it's just saying to put these two things together. Apparently,
It's so interesting how like we subconsciously reveal our truths, like through body language and through micro expressions and through weird Freudian slips like that. So interesting. How even though you think you're covering all of your fucking, even if you think you've got yourself entirely covered, like covering your tracks, even if you thought that you had your tracks entirely covered, like you're still giving it away. Everyone has a tell.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It's not doing it. But anyway, the very last one, I don't want these accusations to impact the hundreds of people who work at MrBeast, which is why I've stepped away.
You were fired!
You're fired.
Too late, right?
Right.
Too late, right? I think I got a couple
Valid, too late.
Like, if you're apologizing, are you saying all these allegations are true? Because that's what the statement appears to be suggested. And Nux here says, alleged pedo, sorry if you were offended, focus on mental health. Dr. Kris.
Yeah, Dr. KrisRespect!
Got it! Got it!
Alleged pedo, sorry if you were offended, focus on mental health. Dr. KrisRespect.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa!
Got him!
Which is another part of this whole thing that's been really crazy to me. Like, this is not about the allegations or any of that stuff. It's kind of just how the community itself has been treating this. There seems to be like a camp that thinks that everyone who doesn't immediately make a video or immediately talk about this is doing so because they want to work with MrBeast. Like they're trying to
Yeah, wait a second. Fucking Sneeko tried to cancel Moist Critical for not coming out with his video soon enough, which I think is outrageous. Like, considering especially since, as Charlie mentions in his rebuttal, that Sneeko actively, like, stands behind like so much pedophile rhetoric. We fucking hate Sneeko. So happy he fell off. I don't even hate Sneeko. I mostly feel bad for him, but like he's pretty disgusting.
Talk about it because they don't want to ruffle it.
And I will also say part of the reason why I feel so pressured to do this shit now is because like, you know, now I'm kind of stuck in it now. I made a video about Dr. Disrespect. I do Predator videos. It's like my mission from God. I don't do this because I want to. I do it because I need help.
Feathers.
Oh my gosh.
And then they're comparing it to Dr. Disrespect, how like everyone came out immediately and was like, oh, Dr. Disrespect, you know? And I would say, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's like, it's weird engagement farming. Like the news drops almost immediately.
Right.
People are like calling out other creators. It's just like,
that's another thing. Like, I can't wait for the first time someone calls me out. But like, yeah, witness. Start some shit in my comments.
Say something, yeah.
Yeah, it's just engagement farming. Like
that's why like I wanted to take time to come out with this video, and that's why I took a little bit of extra time to come out with my Dr. Disrespect video, because I mean, it's probably not the wisest thing to do, but like I want to be known as a YouTuber with integrity. And I'm posting, and I'm posting this video not because I'm trying to get engagement on my channel necessarily, but because there's so much that needs to be said about this situation, and I've got a platform, and god damn it, I'm using it.
News
not
drops.
Like,
almost immediately,
right?
People are like calling out other creators.
It's ridiculous.
It's just like something, yeah. It's this weird like positioning thing to where they're like, this just happened. Like, oh yeah, everyone else isn't saying anything, so I'm obviously a better person than them. You know, look at me, I'm calling them out. It's like I didn't even know what was happening yet.
Right.
I live in Australia.
Right, like people were already doing their call out fucking posts before like information even dropped. Like y'all definitely are showing how like I was gonna say incredible, but like how you have zero it's incredible, your lack of credibility.
Like 8 a.m. for me is like 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Central Time, right?
Yeah.
So the news has already been going on. I'm like looking and people are like, Ken, why are you talking about this? And I'm like, what is even happening? I don't even know what's going on yet.
Poor
Please
Ken.
give me a second to just like read.
And honestly,
real.
I learned more from this today.
Yes.
Just from you showing me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something that I just go and find. You know?
Right, no, that's so valid. Like, that's why I think I made a really good choice in choosing Cinnamon Toast Ken to do this reaction with, because it's so real. Like, there's so much information flying out so quickly that I have no idea. I was like, who's gonna be the best one to break it down? And it was Cinnamon Toast Ken, and it seems like he's like feeling the exact same way as I am, which is super validating.
How are we covering up for someone else, or I don't know.
I'm not gonna be in the MrBeast videos. Yeah, whatever. I'm an old man. I don't matter. I can say whatever I want, I guess. I don't have to worry about it. But it's like
you matter.
The disrespect thing has been building for years. Like
you are Knuff.
One knew Dr. Disrespect got banned for something bad, but no one knew why.
Right.
And then it came out, and everyone was like, knew it.
Right.
Like the next day, almost, he made a statement saying that it was all true.
Right.
And so, like this hit, and it's following the same timeline.
I made this point in my video that I did about Dr. Disrespect, how like before any true allegations dropped, he came out ahead and said that it was true. And so imagine how bad the actual allegations are. Imagine how bad the extent of his degeneracy is if he's admitting to even some of it right out the bat. Like, it wasn't like P. Diddy, who immediately dismissed the Cassie allegations, and then the video dropped, and then he was like, yeah, no. Before Dr. Disrespect's video dropped, he said, yes, I did this. So imagine how, like, depraved the true situation really is.
Like, it's coming out at the same rate of speed. It's just, it's content creators trying to virtue signal and being like, I am obviously the one who really cares, guys. Anyone else who hasn't said anything about
I'm the real one.
It is, they're just, whenever they do say something about it, you can thank me for calling them out. That's all it is, right? And a lot of those same people, they didn't even talk about like the Cody Co allegations. Like, where were they during all that?
Let me say, I would come out about the Cody Co allegations, but like, I probably might. Fuck. Only because Cinnamon Toast Ken called me out.
They do that, the community, like the people who watch them also jump on that same bandwagon. And so it takes away from the actual situation and instead just becomes like people pointing fingers at each other.
Right.
Oh, Why did you talk about it? You must be a bad guy.
Right, yeah.
What?
You see, guys, I'm the one who set the ball rolling here. You know what I'm saying? I need the praise here. That's also why we talk about dang, we hate YouTubers.
Oh, dude, it's just, I don't
Real.
know what's going on.
I've got like a few that I really love, but like a majority of them, like I have like no interest, not even curious.
You know what we need, Kim? You know what we need? Because what we really need is an organization, like a group of dads, right?
There are groups of dads. Y'all know about the Colorado Pet Patrol?
Another one, another one, another one bites the dust. Hey, time to type to pull up at your house and read off your screen name account. Make it come clean, or even make it call your spouse. So why don't you come on out and see what we're talking about? We got you on camera. But first, is anyone in the house? Look.
There's hella dad-based vigilante groups against sex predators. It's actually kind of dope.
Like pedos. And
Yeah.
simultaneously.
It's happening.
YouTubers, you know what I mean? That's not dope. That's all I'm saying.
To go to Walmart and beat them up.
Real.
Someone called dad against predators on these guys.
And it's so funny because some of these guys that out the predators vigilante style, they don't even call the cops. Like I saw this one, I think it was a Cinnamon Toast Ken reaction where they were reacting to predators getting called out publicly, and like the vigilante like literally slaps the predator in the face.
I don't know, bro.
Alright,
They just slap
Wanna get the police involved?
You don't know?
Or are you gonna answer like a man?
Do you know now? And they're like, you want to get the police involved? And they never try to get the police involved, dude. It's nuts.
Like it's like so worth it. Like really, like honestly, like I'm pretty sure you're the one who's gonna get in trouble here. Like real.
Guys. Oh my gosh. The other part about the whole that whole part of like the social aspect of it, I guess, is like the people that are calling everyone out didn't know about it until it became trending news either.
Right.
Like,
Right.
all these tweets have been here for years, but no one paid any attention.
Real.
I'm just tired, man. I'm
Real.
just tired. Can YouTubers just stop?
No, they won't.
Just stop.
They will after a while.
Stop. Get some help.
Get some help.
Get some help. Stop. Get some help.
Thank you for putting that clip in there for me, Cinnamon Toast Ken, so I didn't have to.
God, it's just, dude.
It's exhausting.
It's just, it's grinding me down. I'm just so, bruh. That's it. That's the end of the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, do all that cool stuff. Tell me what you think about this. Hey, I'm curious to see how the story's gonna develop further. But yeah. Today's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Hey, my birthday was just a couple days ago. The miserable people. Boom, 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 boom. It's not their birthday. It's not their birthday. But it's my birthday. It's not their birthday. It's not their birthday. Fuck! I forgot to watch a Cinnamon Toast Ken video. Shit.
See you next time. Bye-bye. So after we recorded, MrBeast did make a response, and he says over the past few days become aware of the serious allegations of Tyson's behavior online, discusses and opposed to such unacceptable acts. And he goes on to say that he's hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure he has all the facts, which David's deleted the entire Twitter where most of the stuff was found to begin with, so kind of hard
There's
to find
ways.
stuff there. But hey, you know, it's kind of like a PR thing to where like we're doing everything we can for the situation. But a lot of times these third-party investigations come back and they don't find anything. We've seen that several times. But you know, that said, he's seen enough online to take immediate action to remove Ava from the company, his channel, and any association with MrBeast. He does not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. He will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation and will take further action based on their findings. So, if the investigation finds anything, maybe more will happen.
Well, so there you have it, kids. I've just reacted to this for 47, actually 50 minutes straight. I'm exhausted. We'll get back to it. Alright, so insofar as like the actual allegations and proof thereof of the screenshots of the Discord between Ava and the minors, the internet is full of them. Like, I couldn't even decide which ones to include here. Just Google it. There's literally like entire Reddits dedicated to it. This is pretty much all that I have to say insofar as all of that. But if you got this far, you're a real one. And if you're a real one, I know that you are subscribed. And maybe interested in becoming a member of my channel or buying one of my silly little merchy items. That's on you. Either way, have a good day and stay away from fucking kids, you sick freaks.